The Discovery, Chapter 4, Part 2. As the group of guards and human walked and slightly limped through Canterlot, the ponies throughout the city stared with mixed emotions. Awe was present. There were some excited faces, sure, but the overwhelming response was fear. Fear of the strange, bipedal, ape-like creature that walked with the royal guard. David had to hide the embarrassment on his face from his lack of formal clothing.
Really? A toga made out of bedsheets? What is this, ancient Rome?
He muttered.
Sorry, but we don't exactly have any clothes that fit you yet. I'm sure the princess will have some pony get with a royal seamstress and have her to make something in your size. I don't get why you care so much though. Clothes are just clothes. Not like you need to wear them. Also, what's Rome?
Midnight replied.
I'll tell you later,
David said as they continued towards the castle. Canterlot Castle was truly a sight to behold. Beautiful arches, decorated with intricate patterns and detailed murals decorated every side of the castle. The columns adorning the entrance were nothing short of immaculate. Some pony had taken great care to preserve their beauty over the many centuries. The walls were painted white as a cloud on a beautiful day, with the towers adorning a dark purple and gold spiral reaching the top. It just screamed royalty. David was taken aback at the sight. Never in his life has he seen a building so old, not just in terms of style, but actual age as well. He never got to explore too much on Earth, and having to travel for 100 years at a time meant everything could very well have completely changed by the time that he got back. Not that he was going there anytime soon. David was pulled from his staring when he felt a nudge against his leg. Looking down, he saw Midnight.
If you think the view from out here is great, just wait until you get inside.
She smiled. David returned the smile, and began to walk into the castle, royal guards flanking him on all sides. Once the large doors were opened, David was met with a brilliant red carpet flowing into the main hall of the keep, before splitting off into a T. The carpet was laid out left, right, and up the stairs at the end of the room. In the center of the carpet there was a gold star, although the star had 8 ponies and seemed very stylized. The checkered black and white floor was a nice touch under the gold and purple walls adorned with many different banners and tapestries. At the center of it all, looming up the stairs, were 2 stained glass windows. The one on the right had yellows and oranges, and a hint of red filtering through. The window on the left was blue, purple, and had a small white crescent moon. A warm orange light filtered into the room, and mixed with a cool, darker light filtering in through the other window, creating a mix of color that beautifully displayed the murals on the floor. David was led through the main hall, up the stairs and into the hallways to the right. Following the many corridors, he eventually found himself led to a massive doorway. Heavy wooden doors with medieval knockers loomed over the end of the hallway, but David's attention was fixed on the many murals in the windows throughout the hallway. Depictions of 6 ponies blasting away a larger black pony, turning a giant monster into stone, and many more filled the hallway. David would have taken the time to admire all of them, but was pulled away by the creaking of the massive doors as they opened. The group walked into the throne room to find all of the royal alicorns waiting for them. David had been expecting 1 pony princess to meet him, but he was instead met with 4 equines sitting on 4 beautiful thrones, and an entourage of no fewer than 100 guards on either side of the room. All eyes seemed to fall on David, analyzing his every move. He felt exposed, and being one of the tallest beings in the room didn't help at all. Feeling very surrounded, he gulped and proceeded forward, his eyes locked on the biggest of the ponies in the room. The 4 pony princesses stared back with mixed emotions. On the far left, a pink alicorn with a curly mane and tail infused with different shades of purple, magenta, and a cream white, sat with a look of pure awe in her purple eyes. She bore a turquoise heart that appeared to be made of crystal on her flanks. On the far right, a lavender alicorn with a straightened dark blue mane, highlighted with a stripe of pink and dark purple, sat with a look of curiosity. Her even darker purple eyes showed intense interest, even if her face didn't fully commit. On each flank was a pink starburst, accompanied by smaller white starbursts on every side. In the middle right seat sat a beautiful navy blue alicorn mare. Her mane and tail were unlike any other ponies in that, not only were they flowing as if spurred by some invisible breeze, but they appeared almost ethereal in nature. Her flanks adorned an ink blotch look, complete with a crescent moon in the center. A cosmos of stars and nebulae adorned her mane and tail, flowing freely in the non-existent wind. She looked at him, with a hint of worry in her face, her teal eyes seeming to exude concern as they fell upon David's form. Lastly, the largest pony in the room. Her mane and tail flowed freely as well, though. They had a kind of rainbow color to them. There were pinks, greens, blues, and purples flowing in a slowly looping sequence, like the world's most colorful barber's pole. Her coat was a beautiful pearl white, and adorning her flank was a bright fiery sun. Her face held the look of compassion and kindness, the kind of look one would give a long-lost friend after meeting again after so many years. Her eyes were a light violet, almost pink. They were among the most beautiful eyes that he'd ever seen. They looked like they could tell a story with just a glance. Wise yet young, clever yet kind. David wasn't sure how to feel. Here he was, about to be interrogated by 4 talking horses. 4 beautiful talking horses, but talking horses nonetheless. A small army of guards surrounded him on both sides. He knew that he had to make a good first impression, for humanity's sake at the very least. So, he made sure to hide the slightest limp that he had been dealing with for the last 15 minutes. He didn't want to look weak in front of the leaders of this nation, or world, whatever they were in charge of. So, he stood up straight, squared his shoulders as best as he could, and tried to puff his chest out in the most nonchalant way possible.
Okay, David, you can do this. Nothing out of the ordinary here. You traveled across a whole galaxy, for crying out loud. You were among the first humans to breathe Andromeda air. First contact with a race of magical talking horses is nothing to you. No pressure. No pressure. Oh, am I kidding? This is so fucked.
The guards in front of him split off to the sides and fell in line on either side of the carpet, leaving David fully exposed to the princesses now only 20 feet away. Lieutenant Duster trotted forward and bowed, all other ponies in the room following suit. David just stood there like a deer in the headlights.
Your Royal Highnesses, we have delivered the extraterrestrial as you have asked. Is there anything more that you would like for us to do?
Lieutenant Duster asked with a humble and respectful voice.
No, that will be all, Lieutenant. Thank you and your ponies for your work. I'm glad that no pony was seriously hurt. You may take your leave. In fact, we will not require any guards at all for this meeting. You all may return to your duties.
The largest pony spoke, her voice both soothing and calm.
Thank you, Princess, but are you sure you don't want some of us to remain?
I think we will be all right. We've shown enough of a display of strength as it is.
With that, Lieutenant Duster and his guards left the room. Midnight was the only pony not to leave. She stayed bowed, with her head low, hiding her face from David's gaze with her ebony mane. If she was gonna say something, it wouldn't be until her princess asked her to. Several seconds of painful silence filled the room before the princess spoke.
Midnight Shadow, you may rise. We are all eager to hear what you have to say. That said, I believe that we are all even more eager to meet you.
Her gaze fell onto David as he visibly tensed under her calm yet piercing gaze.
I understand the circumstances of your arrival were a bit hostile, but I've been told that you are sapient. Although, I did not receive a name.
The White Alicorn spoke again, obviously curious. Several more tense seconds passed before David found his voice. Pawing his hands together nervously, he thought hard on how to introduce himself. He chose his words carefully, and then spoke.
My name is David Lawson. I am a human being from planet Earth. As I'm sure you are aware, I crash-landed here not 2 days ago. I thought I was dead, until Midnight saved me. Twice. Your Highnesses, I'm very sorry to say that I don't know your name. In fact, I don't know any of yours.
He finished, gesturing to the rest of the pony princesses sitting before him.
Oh, forgive my manners, how silly of me. I am Princess Celestia. This is my sister, Princess Luna.
Luna gave a curt nod.
My niece, Princess Cadence.
Cadence gave a warm smile.
And lastly, my former student, Princess Twilight Sparkle.
Twilight simply stared, wide-eyed.
It's a pleasure to meet all of you. I'm just sorry that my arrival had to be under, not so good conditions.
The pleasure is ours. This is the first time that we've met a human. Sorry, is that how you pronounce that?
Cadence asked.
It's pronounced human, Your Highness, and the feeling's mutual. I never thought I'd be speaking to a real-live unicorn, or Pegasus. In fact, I didn't think I'd ever meet a talking horse in my whole life.
David explained.
What do you mean, whole life? You seem to know of our species, but we're not horses, we are ponies.
Luna remarked. David's heart pounded faster in his chest.
Oh, I'm very sorry, I mean no disrespect. It's just on my world, the closest thing to your kind are called horses, and they can't talk. Actually, no other species on my planet can talk. Humans are the only ones where I come from. Besides parrots, I guess, but, to answer your question, unicorns and pegasi are creatures of legend. They're myths where I come from. No human has ever seen one before.
Luna gave a nod, apparently satisfied with David's answer.
It's quite all right, David. No offense taken. Actually, your world is the reason why we wanted to talk with you personally. We wanted to inquire about your race, also how you ended up here, and if you have any way of returning home. We would be willing to help in any way should you require it. Although before we ask you those questions, we would like to hear Midnight's reports.
Celestia's voice filled the air once more, and David's erratic heart somehow slowed.
Wait, why is Midnight giving a report on me again?
David received his answer a few seconds later. I wonder if all that morphine and other supplies is gonna degrade her position in whatever she's in. Probably won't, but it's just a thing to think about. Anyways, let's get on to our responsible donators. Top donators are 630, J Tinman, Darkside, Only One Thing, and Ceru Orion. Rayden, Narwhals, Blackmoonheart, Pastel Skies, Austin Roland, Stu Hex, Swordbrother and Morjad, Omicron Library, Will, Chris, Twinkie, Hadzaza, Riot Soul, Iron Sky, Badass Waffle, Shadow Moon, and many more show-stopping people. Thank you all so much for watching this video and live life to the fullest.